But
you say so.
But the kind you plant as beautiful additions to your landscape. Welcome regular PTL contributor Doug Oster, the Tribune Review Home and Garden. What am I saying here? Review. Is that the
Tribune Review and Home and Garden editor.
I'm going to get this. It's been a long morning, I think, for me.
Yeah, busy. Lots of guests, lots of music, sun, the whole bit.
This is not the kind of grass we're used to talking about.
No, this stuff, it gives you a lot of options in the garden, and they are all indestructible. We're going to talk about grasses, but also some other plants that are like grasses. But grasses offer texture. They offer many different sizes. You know, of course, we look part of the verticality on that.
This is
just
insane.
amazing.
And would this would grow here in
our
area?
Yeah. And you know, that's when you need something big in the back of a border that, again, the deer will never eat the grasses. You know, and I was walking around Hahn Nursery where all this stuff came from, thinking, okay, what am I going to do this Thursday? And I just started looking at all the beauty of the grasses. The one in the back there is a little bit bigger, but in the front, this is called Morning Light.
This one,
yeah. And when the sun comes through it, it has kind of a variegated look to it. It's just, it's so beautiful. And then it will have plumes at the end of the season, which are like the seed heads, which are really, really pretty. Lots of different colors there. You got a Japanese bloodgrass up here in the front.
Beautiful.
And these are all grasses that are perennial, meaning they'll come back year after year. There are annual varieties that people plant where it just goes frost to frost, but these are something that will come back year after year.
So something like this, I don't know how long it takes. I don't even know if our viewers can grasp the scope of how big it is, but do you cut it down at the end of the year?
Well, there's a couple different ways to do it. Some people, like especially in a public garden, they'll cut it down at the end of the season. But I like to leave them up. There's a couple good things that they do. First, those plumes will stay all winter, and so you have this beautiful winter interest. But it's also a great place for beneficial insects to overwinter.
Oh, okay.
So I leave them up because I think they're pretty. But sometimes, if you didn't like them, you cut them down
it'll grow back
in the fall. And it comes back next spring like crazy. One thing, when they start to die out in the middle, you just have to kind of dig them all out, chop them up, and that will reinvigorate them, and off they go to the races again. I love this little kind of bluish green fescue. But let's talk about some other things that aren't technically grasses. This is called black mondo grass, and look at that. That's just such a cool color.
It is.
You know, that would be good, you know, mixed with something white, you know, something yellow.
And you would mix this in like a flower pot, or would you actually put this in the ground?
You could do it either way. That would be a container plant, but it would probably be, you'd probably get 3 or 5 of them and put them in the front of a bed, and it would just be a stunner. We see this stuff around the stadium, Larope. And it is tough as nails. And look at this beautiful, variegated with these purple flowers. You can't. This is full sun, never needs to be watered. You cannot kill it.
Well, I was going to say it almost looks like a house plant, but if it needs full sun, then better leave it outside.
Full sun outside. Great plant. This isn't a grass. This is something called a sedge. And again, it's so indestructible, and just when you compare lots of different things with this green and white foliage, and it just has a beautiful weeping texture to it. This one is for the shade. This is called Hakona Kaloa.
This would be perfect for part of my yard.
Oh yeah, and you got kind of you got these nice little plumes. You've got, in the spring, it's more of a chartreuse, and then at the end of the season, we start to see this purple go in there, and so
it might go nice with some mums.
It's perfect. And then a couple other short grasses here. We can see this variegation, this type of variegation, in anything from a little one like this, it's a maiden grass, or all the way up to as big as Cloud 9, 6 feet tall, 8 feet tall, depending on what your garden is, depending on what you want to do with your garden. The thing about these grasses, like usually when we're planting things, I'm always saying put compost in, put compost in. With the grasses, it's not that important. If you had a spot in your area that had full sun where the soil wasn't that good, you just did a little bit of improving, and again, it's going to grow like grass. You know, so it's going to be indestructible, and you know, just go. Yeah.
So you said that you saw a bunch of this at Hahn Nursery, and that's why you decided to do it. Is this the best time to plant these grasses?
This is a great time to plant grasses. You know, we've got less humidity. The nights are a little cooler, and I chose these grasses because this time of the year it's still going to be warm, but it's not going to be killer hot, and they can take it. A couple other little ones here. They call this one bunny tail.
It's cute.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
And yeah, these little plumes are just cute, you know. And especially if you had kids, you could say, "Oh, this one's called bunny tail." And this is a pampas grass, and this gets those really cool, big, white plumes that will just dance in the breeze. And that's part of these too, is that the grasses really do move with the wind.
It's beautiful. I can imagine these especially.
I'm telling you what, that morning light is one of my absolute favorites.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
You know, it's big, you know, but you put it in the back, it's going to make a statement, and you can plant all sorts of things in front of that.
Yeah.
And
then,
really, yeah, when you're going to see that thing, when that thing puts its plumes on, it is a beauty.
Gorgeous. Well, thank you so much, especially talking grasses right now. My yard is dead, so this is kind of fun to talk about neat plants.
They go dormant.
Yeah.
The grasses go dormant. You know, we'll get some rain. You'll be okay.
Okay.
You'll come back.
Thanks, Doug. All right, before we let Doug go, we also want to say congratulations on winning a Garden Writers Award. Doug won the Gold Award for Best Newspaper Writing and a series, Plants That Matter, in the Tribune Review.
Thank you
congratulations
so much. Thank you.
And way to
really
go.
Exciting.
I bet it is.
Really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank
It's always
you so
nice to
much.
win awards.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're doing a job you love, right?
You got it. Thank you.
We'll be right back.